I'm back. It's another topic I want to touch on, so I'm gonna split it up. I did one live already. This one, as y'all see, is titled Second Amendment, and you already know it. Well, you should know what the Second Amendment is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here in a minute. Still walking. It stopped raining. It rained for a hot second, but just like life, you can't just because it started raining on me, you fold your tent up and tuck your tail and run. So I withstand it. Kept doing my little miles. It's a certain amount of miles I'm trying to walk every day. 45-year-old black man just trying to stay healthy. Yeah, dig. All right, let me go ahead and get started. The reason why I titled it The Second Amendment, and if those who don't know what the Second Amendment is, that's the right to bear arms, right? And the narratives, ever since Obama was in office, even before that, but definitely when Obama was in office, if you notice, when Democrats is in office, yo, it's a gang of school shootings. Just school shooting after school shooting after school shooting. And all they do is spin the narrative, spin the political part of it, and talk about how we need to get rid of guns, basically. But they doing it in a way where it makes people feel like, oh, a simple background check. They already got background checks. When I go get a gun, man, they do a background check on you, man. So they not letting just see people who don't go get guns, don't know nothing about guns. They wouldn't know nothing about this. When I went to go get mine, or anybody to go get theirs, you have to fill out this form. You fill this form out. You have to have a valid ID, no expiring ID. You have to have a valid ID. You write all your information down. You double check your information, because if your information is incorrect, oh, that's your ass. You give a man your ID, male or female. They run the paperwork, they run your ID. If you have any felonies from city, state, or federal, there's gonna be a red flag on your application, and they're gonna deny you. So we already have a background check. So this whole we need a tougher background check, we need this. No, that means basically you won't be able to get a gun. They're gonna deny you a gun for the most littlest thing. See, when the government start overreaching, which y'all don't know, it's like anybody who on food stamps and Section 8, Medicaid, anything like that, the government will overreach on your ass. They will tell you, we need blood samples, we need urine samples, we need, your bank account. They need every goddamn thing, right? So I grew up in the system of that. And my mom had to give up all this, and she had to hide certain things and can't tell them this, and if they find out, and come on, man, that's the government, right? So if the government start overreaching when it comes to us bearing arms, eventually you're not going to be able to bear an arm, because if you give them, I don't know if y'all heard of the old saying, if you give a person an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's the government. You give them an inch, they're going to take 10. So this whole, oh, they got illegal guns, we need to close the loopholes, and man, they're gonna get guns regardless. Like I just touched on in the last live video I just did not too long ago, it's guns in the hood. These boys is on Instagram. Hold on, y'all, I got something in my eye. God damn it. Got all this stuff flying in the air. But these boys is on Instagram, Facebook. Right now they in trouble. It's a video circulating on Crime in the D, where a student in, I forgot what high school, basically pulled a pistol on a kid, like kind of like showing him like, look, nigga, you know what I'm saying? So they doing an investigation on that because it's circling through social media. These kids don't have no sense. You know what I mean? So that school gonna be in hot water. That student definitely gonna be in hot water. And nine times out of 10, that parent gonna be in hot water. Shout out to the person who hit the thumbs up, man. I appreciate that, and for jumping in the room. But bottom line is, where that kid get that gun from? It's like that in the hood all day, man. I done watched cats come home from prison. The next less than 24 hours, they got them a pistol. Because in the hood, in certain hoods, you gotta have that, man. If you got certain beefs with certain people, you in a certain line of work, you know, or let's say, you know, a lot of cats be snitching, so they need that to protect themselves, to make sure nobody take them out, man. So at the end of the day, the hood is flooded with guns, man. The hood got nothing but guns. Where are these guns coming from? It's a guy on YouTube. I don't know if the video's still up. He was from Chicago, former gang member. And he was talking about how he didn't watch people, and I say people loosely, he didn't watch people drop off crates of guns, man. Crates of guns in the alley. Where you think all these gang members from LA to the East Coast, where you think they're getting all these guns? You think all these guns is somehow being stolen from people's homes, or are they breaking into? Man, so many gun shops up and down the street where I'm at, man. You is not going to be able to break into them gun shops like that, man. So to me, that's a false narrative, because I'm looking at the gun shops, man. They got armed people 24/7 in the parking lot. They got dogs. They got alarms. They got cameras. Come on, man. Ain't nobody just, unless you MacGyver. And most of these young kids, man, they can't even tell you 9 times 9. Not saying a criminal is not smart, but what I'm saying is most criminals are not smart, if you understand what I'm saying, because they end up getting caught. So at the end of the day, man, these kids is not breaking into all these homes and breaking into all these gun shops and getting guns. These guns coming from somewhere else. Think about it. Put your thinking cap on, man. That's what they don't want us to do. They don't never want us to think. They want us to go on whatever news headline or emotion. That's why the Democrats is controlling us. They control us through our emotions. Soon as something happens, oh, the white man said he don't like us. You think the Democratic white man and white women like you? They just know how to not tell you nigga in your face, or disrespect you in your face. But at the end of the day, man, these guns is coming from somewhere, man. Like I said, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You know what I mean? I'm in the areas. You know what I'm saying? These boys is pulling out military grade type of goddamn machinery. These boys is where they getting all this ammo from? Think about it, man. If it's an ammo shortage, where they getting all the ammo at for these guns? These guns holding 50, 100, some 150 rounds. Where they getting the ammo from? Like I said, man, y'all got to put y'all thinking caps on, man. And think about it. How is these boys having guns, man, that can slice a house in half, man? Armor-piercing bullets and all this shit. Where this shit coming from, man? And it so happens to be dropped off, or it so happens to be in a community where it's a bunch of drama, a bunch of gang shit, or a bunch of bullshit. Like, y'all don't put 2 and 2 together? So again, like I said, when it comes down to us killing us, man, nobody tripping off of that, man. It just, they use it to a certain degree, like how Joe Biden and his wife came, dropped a reef, and then he made a little statement about we need to stop gun violence and we need to do background checks and blah, 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 blah. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. They playing off y'all emotions. Bottom line is we need guns to protect. I got one. Anybody that got common sense got one. What? To protect their family and to protect themselves. And if you know anything about the Constitution, it states in the Constitution that the Second Amendment states to protect from tyranny Like we make jokes about white folk that be talking about tyranny, tyranny. Yeah, that shit funny until tanks roll down to the tanks roll down your street and they basically doing martial law and telling you what you can do and what you can't do. Think about it when they had the lockdowns in 2020, how they controlled us. Now just imagine if folk didn't have them guns. Like we laughed at them white folk that was at the Capitol protesting. We laughed at them. Oh, these white people tripping, they ain't nothing but Trump supporters and blah 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 blah. Think about it. If you don't have nothing to protect yourself, what's gonna happen? What you think is gonna happen to you and your family, man, if you ain't got nothing to protect yourself? You don't think the government can turn on you? A dog can turn on you. And that's the most loyal pet that you can have, but a dog can turn on you. You don't think a human with a brain who thinks and constantly thinks won't turn on you? You don't think the government, think about it, man, look at all the other countries around the world, man, that don't have a right to bear arms. And look at Australia with the lockdowns. Look how they treated them people in Australia, beating on them, police just doing them dirty. Shout out to the one person who jumped back in the room. But think about how they did them folk in Australia with the lockdowns and the whole, I can't say the word because you already know, the juggernaut, the jab. How they did them people when they didn't want to get that jab. But just imagine them folk would have had guns to protect themselves. It'd have been a different type of environment. It'd have been different how they approached them. That's why when they approach us, they basically approach us with a soft way around it, because they know them same folk that y'all laugh about from January 6th, them same people y'all laughed about that was protesting around the country and going to the capitals and protesting in 2020 and 2021 that we was laughing about and talking about they Trump supporters and they don't like this and they don't like that. Think about if them folk wasn't armed. Why you think they was able to go in the Capitol here in Michigan and Lansing and run up in that joint and the police back down? Why? Because they armed. If one cop would have shot one of them, somebody could have shot the cop. Simple as that. Now you got an all-out shootout, but now they got guns just as powerful as the police. So the police had to back down and let them go into the Capitol. Unfortunately, y'all, especially the ones who don't like guns, who feel like guns is the problem. Right now, like I said in my last live, think about what they sending all this money and weaponry to Ukraine for what? For them to do what? They asking everybody to pick up arms. Grandmas, granddads, anybody to do what? Pick up arms and fight against who? Russia, right? So if they didn't have guns and nothing to protect themselves, what would happen to them? Shout out to the person who jumped in the room. Think about it. See, they spin this narrative and they control your emotions and say, hey, Russia's the big bad mother on the block and old Russia, old China. But y'all not thinking, man. They playing with y'all emotions and got y'all like, yeah, they need guns, they need this, they need that. Nigga, we need guns. We need that to protect us from our government. Think about a politician, about how a politician will come to our community, kiss babies, shake hands, say please vote for me, and then do what when they get voted in? They do the total opposite. They change on you. They get the power that they want. They get the money that they want. So don't let these politicians, old ass senile Joe Biden, get up there and get the cursing and we need to get rid of that. No, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm with them. I'm with the white folk. I'm not getting rid of my shit. I'm not with getting rid of the Second Amendment. Yes, it's sad that them young kids died. Yes, it's sad that them folk died in Buffalo. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad. Okay, you can't legislate hate away. I'm going to say that 3 times. You cannot legislate hate away. Last time. You cannot legislate hate away. Hate is something that is in the person. It's in the human being. Unfortunately, we have people in our society who's not on their rocker. How can you legislate against that? If they get rid of guns, they're going to get knives. They're going to get something. Violence is violence. Mental health is mental health. So I'm a person who's for the Second Amendment. Y'all should be for the Second Amendment. If the government and the police is the only one with guns and you can't protect yourself, what you think they're going to do to you? And I'm speaking directly to black folk. If they gunning us down now for just breathing, getting out the car and putting our hands up and getting shot, or not rolling the window down, or just making simple commands, right? If they gunning us down like that, what you think gonna happen once you don't have nothing to protect yourself and they get rid of the Second Amendment? What you think they gonna do then? If they don't got no laws, they didn't got nothing on the book to protect us directly, what you think they gonna do once them guns is gone? Because contrary to what y'all may think, don't white folk that y'all see protesting and talking about right to bear arms, and we laughing at them or we call them racist, them is the barrier that stops the government from becoming a government of tyranny. Because they'll mow us down right now. I'm in the park right now. I could be 400 niggas in here with guns talking about we ain't gonna take it. They will come and put the National Guard and mow us down. Now, put the same scenario and put 500 white people in here with guns. They're not gonna mow them down like that. Because they know they gonna fight to the end. Not saying we won't fight to the end, but a lot of times we just be talking, man. Now, when it come to us killing us, we don't be talking. If we gonna say we gonna go mow down Raekwon, we gonna go mow down Raekwon, his little sister, his mama, everybody, right? But when it come to them people, we ain't got no smoke for them folk. But them people that we be laughing and joking and calling them racist and calling them Trump supporters, they got all the smoke. They went into that Capitol in D.C., man, not the Capitol. Yeah, the Capitol in D.C., man, we had all the smoke from them white folk, man. Them white folk got scared, man. They got scared. And that's not even a fraction of them. Remember, there's more white people in America than there's black. And it was just a fraction of them that went up to that Capitol. Just imagine if all of them went into the Capitol bearing guns. And remember, them same white folk that we laugh about, that we call Trump supporters, are the same ones who are police, judges, doctors, lawyers, military. In every sector of our community, them people are around. So I'm going to leave you with that thought, man. Something to think about before you get to crying or get to talking about you want to give your Second Amendment up, man. Think about it. You got to have something to protect you and your family. You hear me? Peace.